Hey y'all, I'm back with another video. Now, I've been kind of behind on some of my videos, so I'm trying to play catch up, because I've been so busy with work and everything. But in any case, I'm here, and now I'm pushing out another one for you guys. And so I'd like to say welcome. First of all, hope everybody's doing well out there. But before we get into the video, I have to always say, like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications so that anytime I churn out one of these videos, you guys will be the first to see it. Now today, we got a classic. We got a classic, okay? This is one of the early 2000s classic, okay? And a lot of y'all remember this, because a lot of people had their hands on one of these. So let's get into it. Let's see what I'm talking about here. Eyes on this. This is the 2003 Chevy Suburban. Now you're probably wondering, okay, if it's the 2003 Suburban, why does it have the Z71 on the back? Well, I can explain that. So, I have did a total overhaul of this Suburban, and believe it or not, this was just a regular flat out Suburban. It wasn't a Z71 or anything like that. I actually turned this Suburban into a Z71, believe it or not. You can look at the features and look at it, and you can see that it does not look like a regular Suburban. So this Suburban, well, particularly this year Suburban 2003 was my favorite. That was my favorite year Suburban, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because that Suburban was the year that they had this particular roof rack on the Z71s. 2003 was the only year in which the Suburban had this roof rack on the Z71s. They did not put this on any other year of the Suburbans but the 03, with this body style. This is the only body style that had this roof rack on the Z71s. And I liked it because it spoke sport utility with the roof rack they had. It spoke ruggedness with the roof rack that they had up on here. I just thought that the Z71 roof rack for this body style looked so cool. I liked the way it looked. That heavy black piece that they had here and the one they had in the front. Like, they did not put this roof rack on any other Suburban but the one that had this body style. It was the only time that they had it. And that is why I like this Suburban so much. Specifically the Z71. But let me give you a more detailed idea of the Z71. It was a full-size SUV. It featured a 5.3 liter V8 engine, a 4-speed automatic transmission, and a 4-wheel drive with a 2-speed transfer case, offering off-road capability with features like all-terrain tires and a heavy-duty air filter, right? So, horsepower was about 285, 325 pound-feet of torque, okay? 4-wheel drive, 2-speed transfer case, right? Fuel economy, not good. 13 miles per gallon city, 17 highway. So it didn't really give you much there. But it did give you a lot for the off-road. Off-road focus, designated for enhanced off-road capability. It had all-terrain tires for improved traction on various terrains. Had a heavy-duty air filter which protects the engine in dusty conditions. It enhanced off-road clearance. It had hill descent control. It had beefy metal skid plates that protect underbody in case you wanted to take it off-road. Now this truck was about 219 inches long. And the curb weight was 5,323 pounds. This thing is heavy. It could tow up to 8,400 pounds. That was the maximum towing capacity. The payload capacity was 1,677 pounds. This truck could seat about 9 people. It had a 40-20-40 front split bench seat, tri-zone manual climate control, AM/FM stereo with CD and cassette players, 8-speaker system. Other features that it had was the solar ray deep tinted glass, fog lamps, remote keyless entry, assist steps, body side moldings, which is this, which would be that right there. Now I added that. I personally added that myself onto the side of the truck because this, like I said, this was a regular Suburban, so I added that myself. And bright machined aluminum wheels. Well, in this case it doesn't have aluminum wheels. As you can see, I added my own custom wheels to it, so that's what I did with that. Other notes: it had a available DVD system for rear seat entertainment, and the base price for this truck around that time with the MSRP was about $37,000. So you were looking roughly at maybe around 40 for this, close to it. Let me tell you kind of what I did with it. So, as I was saying, it was a regular Suburban. It didn't have the moldings. It didn't have the Z71. It didn't have, although it did have a luggage rack, it wasn't this luggage rack. All this I made myself. Okay? So, let me give you a little bit of an idea of what I did. So, what I did was, personally, I took the interior, so I stripped it down. I took the interior out. I made the interior black. As you can see, the inside is black because the inside was gray. So I did spray paint the interior black. So it does have a black interior. Okay, as you can see here, the interior is black. And let's check out the other side. And you can see as well, it's black in there. So the interior is black. Now, as far as the roof rack, now I used these very small, round, cylindrical wooden sticks, and I'm trying to see if I can find one for you guys to kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about, because I don't see one right now at my disposal. But they were very slim and cylindrical. They were like really small sticks, but they were round sticks. So I chopped them up basically, and I edged it out, rounded it, edged it out, so that it could fit on top of the truck just like you would see on the real one. And then when you go to the rear, you could see how it goes straight out and then it has that curve on the back end. Now, when you look at the luggage rack on a real Z71 of this body style, you will see how it looks the same. And so that's what I did with that. So I took a regular luggage rack and made it into the Z71 luggage rack. Now, as far as the side moldings, that was much harder than it looks, okay? The side moldings was very, very difficult to do. And how I wind up doing the side moldings, believe it or not, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I used to make the side moldings. And you probably won't believe that I did this. So, if you look at this paper, let me slide this back a little bit. Now, if you look at this paper here, this looks like a regular piece of paper, but it's actually not a piece of paper. It's like it's almost like a foam. It's like a foam of sorts. But the difference is this foam actually has a piece where it's adhesive. So as you can see, it has contact paper on the back. And it has a sticky adhesive on the other side. So I actually took these and kind of molded it to the wheel well of the Suburban, and kind of did it like I did the front for the front, the rear for the rear, you know, and then did the sides according to the sides of the doors and everything like that. So even when you open the doors, you still see the side molding. This carefully kind of took some cutting and some painting and things like that, because I had to actually paint this a dark color so that the side moldings would look close to what you see on the Z71 of this particular year and body style. And so I had to wait a few days because it was absorbing the paint, being as though it was like foamy. So it had to absorb the paint, and it absorbed the paint for like a couple of days. But afterwards, it started to harden up. And that's exactly what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to harden up. And so now it is at the point to where it's actually hardened up on the truck. So now the molding is actually solid to the way I wanted it to be. I didn't want it to be soft and foamy. Like, it's actually solid now. It's very hard on there because it's dried up. It has been exposed to the air, so now it has gotten really solid. And I'm kind of glad that it did, because that's exactly what I was hoping it would do. Now, this right here took some careful handwork. I am very steady with my hand. I'm an artist. I know how to draw. So that is one of my advantages. So I have a very steady hand when it comes to drawing. So putting this Z71 on here really did not pose a challenge, because I definitely have a steady hand. So as you can see, I have the Z71 logo there. You see I have it right there on the back, and you can also see I have it on this side as well. So it did not, you know, it did not make a challenge in my mind. Like, it wasn't a challenge for it. And as you can see in the rear, I also did the tail lights because the taillights was all red at first on both sides, but as you can see, actually painted in the white where the reverse lights go and the orange where the turn signals are, and I done that on both sides. So I did that, and when you turn to the front, you can also see the grille and the Chevy logo is all black. So I had all of that blacked out. I felt like it went with the ambiance of the truck, of what I was trying to capture at the moment. So you can see that the grille is also black all the way across, along with the Chevy logo. It does have fog lights at the bottom, as you can see right there. But this is what I came up with, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I like the way it came out. Oh, and once you go to the back as well, you can see that this part here was actually, this was silver right here. This was actually a chrome here, but I made that black. So I went on and blacked that part out as well. So that part is black too, because that also was chrome down there at the bottom. I also made that black. Let's take a look at the bottom here, and as you can see, it does have the name on the bottom right there, Welly, very well known diecast car brand. Welly, they make some very nice cars. And as you can see right there where it says Chevrolet Suburban, so you can see it does not say Z71 or anything like that. So that right there tells you this was just a regular Suburban, and that I made it into a Z71. Like I said, it took some guts to really do this, but I think it's something that I wanted to do because, for one, the regular Suburban, to me, it was just a little bit boring to me, and I wanted to put some life into it. So I said, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to go ahead and turn it into a Z71, being as though that body style, and that was like one of my favorite Suburbans of all time, my personal favorite. Now, you may have a personal favorite Suburban or body style or whatever, but this was my favorite body style of all of them. Even with the new ones, this is still my favorite body style, because like I said, the Z71 with this body style was the only one that came with this type of luggage rack. It just looks rugged. It went exactly with the truck. It fit the ambiance of the Z71. It fit the ambiance of the body style and everything, just with the side moldings and all that. It was just perfect. It was perfect. And so I couldn't complain nonetheless about how it looked. So when I had a chance to cop this Suburban to my friend, shout out to my man Frank, when I had a chance to cop this Suburban, I was able to do exactly what I had envisioned in my mind, and that was to turn this into a Z71. And as you can see what the results came out to be, you know, it's not perfect by a stretch of the imagination. It's not perfect, but it looks a whole hell of a lot better than what it did when I first got it, because it was just a regular old Suburban, you know. But turning it into a Z71, I thought was pretty cool, and I liked the way it came out. And, you know, this is the results of it. What says you? You put down in the comments and tell me what you think of my remodeled Suburban slash upgraded to Suburban Z71 2003. You let me know in the comments what you think about my whole remodel, of how I put it together and everything, and just let me know what you think about this total transformation of this 2003 Suburban. And like I always tell you guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the content, show your friends, let them know DDG is around, man. And for us car enthusiasts, this is what we do. And as always, you guys stay safe, stay prayed up, and good day.